So you love tattooing, but you feel like you're not good enough. You sit there late at night, fake skin in front of you, wiping it down for the 10th time. You zoom in to a line that you've just done. It's not terrible, but it's not what you wanted either. And straight away, that little voice starts whispering, maybe you're just not cut out for this. I know that voice because I used to hear it every single day. It is easy to fall in love with tattooing. The smell of the ink, the sound of machine, the feeling that you get creating something that actually lasts. But it is just as easy to get crushed by the weight of your own expectations. If you've ever sat and just stared at your work and felt your stomach drop, this video is for you, because I promise you, feeling not good enough doesn't mean that you're failing. It means that you actually care. Every single artist starts with passion, but somewhere along the way, that passion meets pressure. You start following other tattooists online. Their lines look cleaner, the shading smoother, their posts are full of praise, and you start comparing. You're thinking, why can't I do that yet? And then comes the guilt. I should be better by now. But here's the truth. Most people you're comparing yourself to have forgotten what their first tattoos even looked like. You're seeing their highlight reel. You're measuring your day one against someone else's year 10. So what I learned, and what most people will never tell you, is that skill isn't built on raw talent. It's built on sequence. And that's where most beginners go completely wrong. They're learning in chaos, jumping between random YouTube videos, grabbing tips from Instagram, practicing whatever looks cool instead of building foundations. And no wonder people feel lost. It's not that you're bad at tattooing, it's that the path you're walking was never designed to get you there. Imagine trying to build a house when you've never seen the blueprints. You'd start hammering nails, stacking bricks, moving things around, but without the plan, it collapses every single time. Tattooing's no different. Most new artists start from the roof. They want to jump straight into realism, colour blends, portraits, but they skip the foundation, straight lines, needle depth, machine control, understanding the skin. And when it doesn't look right, they blame themselves. When I was starting, I made that exact same mistake too. I thought that if I just practice more, I'd get it. But practice doesn't fix what you don't understand. It just reinforces the same habits. And that's when I realised it wasn't that I lacked passion or drive, I just lacked structure. Most of the self-doubt that you feel, it isn't emotional, it's strategic. So you're trying to learn a professional craft in an order that makes no sense. The internet's full of fragments, everyone teaching a different way, skipping steps, using different machines, different voltages. You try to piece it all together, but the puzzle never fits. That constant I'm missing something feeling, that's not insecurity. That's your brain telling you that there's no map. And when there's no road map, confidence cannot exist. Confidence doesn't come from believing that you're amazing. It comes from knowing what you're doing, why you're doing it, and where it leads to next. That is why I created the Fundamentals of Tattooing course. Not to sell another tutorial, but to finally give artists that map, that direction. Because if you can follow the right sequence, from holding a machine correctly, to understanding depth, to joining lines, to clean shading, the confidence grows automatically. But we'll get to that later. For now, I want to walk you through the deeper reason why you're feeling stuck and how to break through it. Let's talk about something most people never admit. You're not the problem. That feeling of not being good enough, it's a symptom, not a truth. And what happens when someone with passion tries to move forward without a system that supports them? When I was learning, I thought I was just bad at tattooing. I'd buy more fake skins, more needles, more ink, thinking maybe it was the gear. But deep down, I knew the problem wasn't what was in my hand. It was what were in my head. There was no order, no foundation, just noise. And when you're surrounded by noise, even progress feels a little bit like failure. That's when I made the decision to change everything. Instead of learning more things, I decided to learn the right things in the right order. And that is when everything started to click. Think about it. Every craft in the world has a sequence. You wouldn't learn to drive by starting on a racetrack. You start in a car park. You learn clutch control, mirrors, gears, the basic before ever hitting a motorway. Tattooing is exactly the same. You don't just jump into realism, you build your foundation. Line control, depth, consistency, stencil placement. These are your gears, your clutch, your steering. If you get those right, the rest becomes effortless. If you skip them, you will always feel like you're fighting the machine. That's why when people ask me, Ben, why does your fundamentals of tattooing course start with such basic stuff? I tell them because it is not basic, it's everything. It's the part no one sees, but everyone needs. The reason so many tattooists quit before they even start is because they're trying to build level 10 skills on level 1 foundations. That's like trying to tattoo a sleeve before you can do a clean straight line. It's silly. Once I realised that, I stopped chasing tricks and started mastering sequences. I still remember the night it finally made sense, and it were about 1 a.m. in the morning, fake skins on desk, coffee gone cold. I slowed everything down. No music, no distractions. Just me, the machine, and a goal in mind. One clean line. And for the first time, I stopped trying to finish a tattoo and I just focused on the execution. How the needle entered the skin, how the ink flowed, how my hand moved, and it just clicked. Not because the line was perfect, it wasn't fucking far from it, but because I finally understood why it looked the way that it did. And it was that shift from emotion to understanding. That is the moment confidence starts, when you stop guessing and start knowing. When that happens, you stop looking at other artists as competition and start seeing them as proof that progress works. You stop asking, am I good enough? And start asking, what's next in the sequence? Confidence doesn't come from just results, it comes from repeatable progress, from doing the right thing in the right order and watching your work evolve day by day. And that's what most people are completely missing. They've got passion, drive, creativity, but no structure. And structure is what gives you peace. When you know exactly what you need to work on this week and know what comes next, you stop wasting energy. That's why inside the fundamentals of tattooing, I built everything as a roadmap. You're not just learning how to tattoo, you're learning how to learn tattooing properly. No jumping around, no contradictions, no guesswork, just clear, decisive steps. I'm not saying that because I want to sell you something. I'm saying that because I've seen what happens when people finally follow the right path. They stop hating themselves for not being perfect yet and start enjoying the process of actually getting better. And that's what this is really all about. Falling in love with tattooing again, but this time without the chaos. I know I almost gave up. There were a point early on when I genuinely thought maybe this isn't for me. I'd been grinding every day, working late, practicing on fake skin till my fucking hand cramped, spending money that I didn't really have on more gear, thinking it'd fix the problem, but it didn't. Every time I looked at my lines, I'd feel the same weight in my chest, that same frustration. And one day, I'll admit, I actually packed everything away, machine, inks, all my cables, and just shoved it into a drawer. Told myself I'd take a break. But that night, I just couldn't sleep because deep down, I knew the reason I was struggling wasn't because I wasn't capable, it was because I was learning backwards. I didn't need to quit. I just needed to start again, properly this time. That night changed everything for me. It wasn't a big breakthrough moment. It was just me deciding that I was gonna figure this thing out. Not through luck, but through clear structure. That same energy I see in so many artists today. Passion without the direction. And when you give that passion direction, everything changes. When passion meets structure, your progress explodes. Think about it. You're already loving tattooing. You already show up. You already care. The missing piece isn't more motivation. It's the map. And once you've got a clear learning path, when you know what to work on first, what to avoid, what's coming next, that anxiety disappears. You stop asking, am I ever going to get better? And start saying, I know exactly what I'm improving today. That's when tattooing becomes fun again. You start noticing the progress in details. Your lines join cleaner. Your depth becomes more instinctive. Your confidence builds with every single piece. And the best part, you start showing up differently. Not just in your practice, but how you see yourself as well. You stop calling yourself a beginner and start calling yourself an artist in progress. You stop apologizing for not being perfect and start taking pride in how far you've actually come. That's the identity shift that happens when you learn in the correct order. That's what the Fundamentals of Tattooing course is designed to create. Not just better tattoos, but a better artist behind them. So if you're feeling stuck, if you've ever been doubting yourself, comparing your work, questioning if you're even cut out for this, please hear me when I say this. You don't need to be perfect, you just need the right path. Tattooing isn't mastered by talent, it's mastered by progression. So if you learn how to control a line, understand your depth, place a stencil correctly, and build one layer at a time, you can tattoo anything. It doesn't matter where you're starting. It matters that you start the right way. And that's what I built the fundamentals for. A proper starting point. Not a quick fix, not a hack, but a real foundation. Because once you understand the fundamentals, everything you learn after just clicks faster. That's what I want for you, to wake up one day, look at your work, and finally feel proud to know that you've earned that confidence because you've built it step by step. So here's what I'm going to say. If this video hit home, if you've been feeling that doubt, that frustration, pull between passion and pressure, don't ignore it. That feeling isn't there to stop you. It's there to redirect you. So if you're ready to take tattooing seriously, to finally build your foundations properly, the way professionals actually learn, then start with the fundamentals of tattooing. It's $149. You get lifetime access. You can go at your own pace. But most importantly, it gives you the structure that you've been missing. Because once you have that, you'll never feel not good enough again. You'll just feel in progress. You love tattooing and you are good enough. You just need the right path to prove it.